All right, wait.
Well, you guys are going back on the road. What do you think the challenge is Saturday?
To try not to, I guess, I think just locking in more defensively, especially at the beginning of the game, and really just trying to make that something we can lay our hat on. I think just trying to make the other team play worse than us defensively, just trying to really lock in and really guard. I think, we did that the first time against Oklahoma, and I think that was the main reason why we were successful, was just really trying to lock in and guard for 40 minutes and really just not allowing guys to go off and go have career nights against us.
Are you still looking at the Big 12 standings that you might have to win out, or what do you think about the race?
I think, that would be pretty hard for us to kind of look at the race and be like, we got to win out. I think a better approach would be just to take it one game at a time and just really try to try to think of it as, just trying to win this game, trying to go 1-0. I feel like it's a better mindset and more attainable mindset.
What has this week been for you guys in terms of managing rest, and how does it compare to after previous Saturday, Monday turnarounds you've had so far?
Were you talking about before the Texas Tech game or now?
Now.
I think Coach switched up a little bit by having us do a little bit of practice yesterday. We did a lot of defensive work, and obviously I think that was warranted given our performance on Monday. And so I think it was good for us to get a little bit of a sweat in yesterday, just so that, coming here today, I feel like everybody will be a little bit more loose and not, a little, I guess, lag from having 2 days off. And so I think that'll be good for us, and hopefully we can turn that into a good day of practice today.
Hunter, I think you guys are last in the conference in made three-pointers, and I think coaches talked about it being more of emphasis before the conference season started. Do you feel like that's something that has been kind of emphasized in the last couple of weeks, and is there something you guys can do differently to get more quality looks?
I wouldn't say it's been emphasized. I think it's known that we aren't, probably the warriors when it comes to threes. But I feel like we have guys who are capable. I think guys really just play within themselves. I don't think we have too many just straight shooters other than maybe like Johnny and Nick. I feel like a lot of the other guys, shooting is something that they do well, but that's not what they're known for. You look at a guy like DeJuan, who is shooting very highly from three, I think. Well, at least that's what it feels like. But he only takes like maybe 2 or 3 a game, and that's because, he's best at getting downhill, shooting the floater, getting to the lane, or making others better. And so then you look at a guy like Kevin McCullough, who I'm not sure what he's shooting, but he's at least in the 30s. And, he's not known for shooting, but he can definitely, I'm very confident in him knocking down a three. But, his best attribute is getting downhill, drawing contact, trying to get to the line. And so, that might not be our strongest suit, but I feel very confident in guys' shooting abilities.
You've had 2 games in a row now without Kev. Have you learned much about how to play without him, and what do you want to see from the rest of the guys if you have to do it again?
I think just in terms of learning without Kev is just obviously, his importance and how important he is to the team, because he does so much offensively, defensively, from a leadership standpoint, to where we definitely miss him out there. But just for guys to continue staying confident, I would say, don't lose the confidence no matter how much you're playing. I think that's something that I can take with me as well. But like I said, just trying to make sure guys stay confident, and if they have built up any momentum in the previous 2 games without him, just to try to keep it going, because we'll need everybody come down the stretch.
It's pretty obvious that he has his hands all over, pretty much every category, every stat. When he's out there, he can do so many things. What does it feel like without him out there? I mean, can you take us through that a little bit? How does it feel not knowing he's out there?
Yeah, it can be tough because, he's one of those guys who's kind of like a pressure release almost, to where, when the shot clock's going down and he has the ball, you can kind of feel pretty confident that, he's going to come up with a decent shot. And I think that's something that, you know, when you have a guy like that who's averaging over 19 points a game, it can be some big shoes to fill, especially for the guys who are coming in who haven't really played as many minutes as, you know, like, as, obviously as Kevin, but like as a normal bench guy. And so, it's definitely tough, but I think defensively, just knowing how solid he is and how good of a defender he is, just really relying on him, not having him out there could definitely be a challenge for sure.
Got time for one or two more. Hunter, what is it going to take just to kind of stay consistent, right? It's kind of been a little up and down, just kind of like a roller coaster, if you will. How do you just kind of stay consistent over these last couple of games and obviously going into March?
I would say just taking every possession ultra seriously and treating it like, you know, each possession could really determine the game, I think. You know, I think there's some times where, you know, we'll take a couple possessions off and here or there, and then that can really snowball into, you know, a run. And I think that's kind of where we're getting stuck sometimes is, you know, we'll play good for a majority of the game or in spurts, but then other spurts we give up, like in the Kansas State game, we were up 11, and then we give up an 11-0 run right after that. And so just treating each possession really importantly, and I think just kind of really locking in on each possession and just trying to get that one stop or that one basket each time.
Yesterday was a tragic day. Did you know anybody that went to the parade or any of the team?
No, thankfully. I think everybody was here. You know, fortunately for us, I think we had practice like we had practice around like 2-ish, and so it was going to be hard for guys to go and come back. So thankfully, none of us were over there for that.
All right, thank you very much.
You mentioned the defensive part for practice specifically. Like, what are some of the drills you guys were doing? What was the point of emphasis defensively for you guys yesterday?
Just guarding 5-on-5. We do a lot of that. We don't really per se do a lot of drills. It's more just kind of like guarding, you know, the scout team 5-on-5 and kind of making adjustments on the fly. And I feel like that, you know, is really helpful because, you know, it makes it so it's more translatable than just doing a drill. I think, you know, sometimes guys can get caught in doing specific drills and then they're not able to translate it to actual 5-on-5 and then translate that to an actual game. And so just more guarding, working on pick and roll defense, working on closeouts and stuff like that is what we were emphasizing.
All right, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.